James Cameron has officially said that Avatar 2 is profitable and he'll be making the sequels. Avatar Theory here, hope you're doing well and having a fantastic day, and the following article comes from The Hollywood Reporter by the writer James Hibbert, and I will leave the article link in the description below, as this article was published on Friday, but unfortunately I was away for the weekend so I wasn't able to cover this news. The article goes, quote, James Cameron says Avatar The Way of Water will easily pass the break-even point at the box office, and that he will indeed make more sequels to his fantasy hit. The director was on this week's episode of HBO's Who's Talking to Chris Wallace and pointed out his mega-budgeted sequel has crossed $1.5 billion at the global box office, surpassing Top Gun Maverick to become the highest-grossing film released in 2022, saying, quote, it looks like just with the momentum that the film has now that will easily pass our break-even in the next few days, so it looks like I can't wiggle out of this, I'm gonna have to do these other sequels, end quote, Cameron said. He continued to state, quote, I know what I'm going to be doing over the next 6 or 7 years. The point is, we're going to be okay. I'm sure that we'll have a discussion soon with the top folks at Disney about the game plan going forward for Avatar 3, which is already in the can. We've already captured and photographed the whole film, so we're in extended post-production to do all that CG magic, and then Avatar 4 and 5 are both written. We even have some of 4 in the can. We've begun a franchise at this point. We've begun a saga that can now play out over multiple films, end quote. Previously, Cameron made headlines by seemingly speculating that The Way of Water would have to earn at least $2 billion at the box office just to break even and justify a sequel, stating, quote, to clarify, I never actually gave it a number. I said it would has to be among the highest grossing films in history, and somebody else applied that number and it got picked up. The number is actually less, end quote. Now Cameron also talks about the budget for The Way of Water, but what's more interesting is that he mentions a little bit about the third Avatar movie, stating, quote, the fire will be presented by the Ash people. I want to show the Na'vi from another angle because so far I've only shown their good sides. In the earlier films there are very negative human examples and very positive Na'vi examples. In Avatar 3 we will do the opposite. We will also explore new worlds while continuing the story of the main characters. I can say that the last parts will be the best. The others were an introduction, a way to set the table before serving the meal, end quote. Now this part I already spoke about in a previous video about the Fire Na'vi, or the Ash people as Cameron liked to call it. But the fact that Avatar 2 is profitable enough to make the sequels really has me excited, but of course it'll be another at least 5 years before we see Avatar 4, because I mean Avatar 3 is scheduled to release next year, end of 2024, and every 2 years was the plan. So 2024 for Avatar 3, 2026 for Avatar 4, and 2028 for Avatar 5. That is, if there are no delays or any setbacks of any kind. And as we saw most recently, delays or a world pandemic can come out of nowhere. And I'm certain that if Cameron does feel that Avatar 4 and 5 is not ready to be released, if he needs to film more sequences or work on the CG even longer, he won't rush those films, unlike many modern films today. But I am happy that Avatar 2 is profitable enough for the sequels to happen, although it is quite some time before we will see the rest of the movies. Right now my eyes are set on Avatar 3 and the possibilities of this Ash people. And I do wonder if we will get any sort of other Avatar media in between, like a Disney Plus animated series or something like that. But let me know in the comments what you think about that idea. Would you want to see other Avatar media in between the movies, or are you fine with just the movies? Let me know in the comments below, and for more Avatar content, have a look at the rest of my channel. Until next time, have a fantastic day and stay safe.